guys, welcome back to Bake Me Happy. This week I'm really excited because we're going to be making Pink Lemonade Cupcakes. The ingredients that you're going to need today are 115 grams of self-raising flour, the juice of a small lemon, 115 grams of butter at room temperature, 115 grams of caster sugar, 55 grams of granulated sugar, 2 large eggs, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and some pink food colouring. For the icing today you're going to need 115 grams of softened butter, and that's different from the butter that we're going to be using for the actual cakes. 4 tablespoons of double cream or heavy cream, it depends where you are as to what it's called. Half a lemon's worth of rind, try to get that down as fine as you can. Half a lemon juice, some pink food colouring, 225 grams of icing sugar or icing mixture, whatever's most easily available to you. And then to decorate we're going to be using some of these pink and white sprinkles as well as these pink straws. So for starters, I've preheated my oven to 160 degrees Celsius because, as you know, it is a fan forced oven, but if it is not and you have a conventional oven, just preheat to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So our first step is to sift into the mixing bowl of our electric mixer. You can use handheld mixers for this step if you want, but I'm going to be using the stand mixer. Just sift in our flour and our baking powder. And then we're going to continue and we're going to put the this is the caster sugar, make sure it's not the granulated sugar, in there with the butter and our eggs. So we're going to beat that with our electric mixer until it's smooth. So our mix is at a really smooth consistency, as you can see here on my spatula. So what we're going to do next is add a tiny bit of pink food colouring, just to get it to a kind of pale pink colour. And continue to beat a little bit at a time and then check the colour and then add a little bit more until you're happy with the colour of the batter. So I finished colouring my batter and it's come out to this kind of pinky colour. It's quite pale, but I'm happy with it. Now it's really important to remember when you're colouring batter with a stand mixer as opposed to a handheld mixer that you're scraping the bottom of the bowl every time you stop the mixer to add more colour, or even if you just scrape the bottom, then keep mixing and then decide whether or not to add more colour. So now that we're done with that, we're going to spoon that into our lined cupcake tin and then we're going to put it in the oven. So now I'm going to use the same ice cream scoop technique that I use with all of my cupcakes and muffins that I've made on this channel, and I'm just going to scoop it up and fill them to about maybe halfway between 1/3 and 2/3. So now that I've filled all of those cupcake liners, I've just kind of gone through and spread them out a little bit, just because the batter is on a bit of a thicker side, just to make sure that it's all going to spread evenly and work out properly. So I'm going to put these into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes and then we're going to come back and make all of our decorations. So while our cupcakes are in the oven baking, we're going to make a little syrup to put through the middle so they taste like lemonade. So what we're going to do is, I've got this tiny weeny saucepan here and we're going to add the 55 grams of granulated sugar and our juice of a small lemon, and we're going to stir that until the sugar's dissolved and then we're going to set it aside to cool for 15 minutes. So while we're waiting for our lemon and sugar mixture to cool down and for our cupcakes to come out of the oven, we're going to start on the frosting. So what you need to start by doing is putting the butter, lemon juice of half the lemon and the lemon rind into an electric mixer. You can use handheld mixers or you can use a standing one like I am today. And then you just got to beat that together until it's all pale and creamy. So our butter's all creamy and everything's been incorporated. So the next thing we're going to do is pour in the cream and beat it through a little bit at a time. So in I'm probably going to do about 3 separate beatings before I start to add the icing sugar. So while that was beating, I did take the cupcakes out of the oven. They're nice and springy to the touch, and I'm going to leave them there to cool for a little while we finish off the icing. So what we're going to do next is sift in our 225 grams of icing sugar, a little bit at a time, just to make it a bit easier. And I'm going to beat in between each addition until it's all come together. So for the colouring of the icing, we're not going to use the electric mixers to mix in the colour because we don't want to overbeat the cream and the butter to make it go a little bit lumpy. So what we're going to do is just add it and then fold it through with a spatula until we have the desired colour. So now that our cupcakes are completely cool, we're going to go through, I'm going to use my cake skewer here, which I use for testing cakes. I'm just going to poke a couple of holes into each cupcake. Right, so now that I've poked all the holes into the cupcakes, I'm going to go through with the lemon syrup that we made earlier and just spoon it over each of the cupcakes so that it all falls into the holes. So now that all of the cupcakes have the lemon syrup in them, we're going to go through and just pat quite a thick layer of the icing onto each cupcake. Then we're going to spread it out with a palette knife and make a little well in the centre. So I've iced all of our cupcakes and I'm just going to dip them into our assorted sprinkles. So our final step to finish off our cupcakes is to take our pink straws and to cut them to a shorter length, probably about 8 centimetres, and stick it into the cupcake. So here we've got our finished pink lemonade cupcake. Thanks so much for watching Bake Me Happy this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more from me, please click subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment what else you'd like to see down below. All of my social media is in the description box, my Instagram, my Twitter, and all my other channels. So please check them out and I'll see you next time. Bye!